Deputy Prime Minister, Vice Minister, ambassadors, and also guests from the international community, the UN, but also the Thai institutions joining us this morning. It is my pleasure to now open this panel discussion, the keynote dialogue, inaugurating the launch of the Global Forum on the Ethics of AI. So we are very, very pleased to have with us Professor Visit Sorat, the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Digital Economy and Society, and also Professor Sukit Jam Nong, President of NASDA, and Ms. Soohyun Kim, Regional Director of UNESCO based in Bangkok. So as you have heard this morning, this is really a save the date for all of you. 24th to 27th of June 2025, you are invited to the Global Forum on the Ethics of AI, hosted by the government of Thailand with the support of UNESCO, but also the EU, to really make this global event truly universal. Let us start with the discussion during this keynote dialogue. And I'd like to start with Professor Visit, Permanent Secretary. Thailand is going to host this global forum. And we know that also in 2025, Thailand is going also to be the chair of the ASEAN Digital Ministers Meeting. What a wonderful coincidence. And to your views, how can hosting this global forum on ethics of AI strengthen Thailand's position and leadership in the region with regard to AI governance and ethical frameworks, in the ASEAN, but maybe also at the global level? How do you think this forum could help Thailand do better and position itself better?
Good morning, Deputy Prime Minister and Vice Minister, Excellencies. Thank you to be here. I thought I was going to speak in Thai, but they said going to be in English only, so my apology. The coincidence, in fact, is well planned. We have worked on AI and, for many years, and looking at the way AI has transformed many technology and the way that it adopted by many countries. If you go to anywhere now in the world, you will see a lot of global forum on AI, and then AI is now developing at a very fast speed. In terms of the digital economy and society in Thailand, I think it is a key thing that we are looking at the two directions. One is that to make sure that Thailand keep itself with the level of industry. We look at the way AI is developing. So in terms of in the country itself, we look at this as a venue whereby we could bring in people in Thailand and understand what is going on in the world, and to make sure that we would take this opportunity to develop among ourselves. And I think the key thing of having the two forums in the country, the idea is not only for the world and for the Thai people in the AI industry. We're looking at the way to making sure that the AI will go into the adoption of the inclusiveness, like the Deputy Director General of the UNESCO has mentioned. It is a very good opportunity. Just imagine that sometimes we think of AI as something far away, but in fact, AI is something that everybody is now using, and it changes you to become superhuman. I once watched a very old film that they turn human being to become like some computer. They put some computer into you, and you become superhuman, and you have more strength, you have more intelligence. This is what AI is doing to you. I think in terms of doing this, we are trying to ensure that the concept of using AI would be circulated to the people in the rural area by using the internet that we have, by using the infrastructure that we have with the cloud first policy. This event would be spring up forward for the people in Thailand to pick up. And at the same time, I think we're now looking at the countries in ASEAN as well, that if we are working together, AI is not going to be used for one country. It's going to be used for all the countries. And in the future, the barrier that we're talking about, the language would go away. I think because AI would allow me to speak with the ambassador in Khmer or with the Kunsu on the Korean. I think the barrier of countries would be reduced by using AI. And of course, we would like to also give the concern to the people as well that AI is a double-edged sword. You can have a benefit and you can have a setback. If you look at the situation around the world, the criminals are using AI as well. They use it for online scamming, and that is what we now do. So, must be the AI or we don't pay the bill. But I think the two events would strengthen up the people in Thailand, in ASEAN, and in the world to see that we are now working together to make sure that inclusiveness and the governance would come together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Permanent Secretary, for your, some remarks that are really, really striking. Basically, you are saying that Thailand and nobody is an island. We are all connected, and we need to have global, regional engagement. And this is what we are going to do with great pleasure with Thailand, with the Global Forum. Now, let me go to Professor Sukit, President of NASDA. NASDA is implementing the UNESCO Readiness Assessment methodology. And here again, it's not a coincidence. We are organizing this forum as Thailand is also finalizing this readiness assessment to be shared with the international community during the forum. So we'd like to hear from you in terms of the benefits of Thailand doing this readiness assessment. We know that Thailand has a national AI strategy 2022 up to 2027. What is it that you think Thailand will benefit from this readiness assessment finding?
Thank you very much. It is my great pleasure to be here today, and really excited that all of you are really interested, and thank you for really hosting and for joining the event. The first time Mrs. Kim introduced our assessment methodology is worse than yours. Sorry. So the first time Mrs. Kim introduced this to the, are you sure it's not AI? The first time Mrs. Kim introduced RAM in our ministry, Mrs. Supamat also sitting in the event that day. We are really excited. The reason is because we're looking forward to something that is the international scale to tell how ready in AI we are. Everybody talk a lot about AI, and actually this evening I'm going to China to talk about AI in our community in terms of how do we teach science literacy in AI. So everybody talk about it. AI used in many aspects. So it is wonderful to have a good metrics that everyone use and measure for each country and report that the AI readiness in their own country in the global scale. How does it look like? And to work with this, I think there are many things that we think about that we should measure. So it is very good that UNESCO already come up with this. And once we see the metrics that UNESCO produce, we adopt. It's not just that it's a great tool. It's also a standard tool that we all can use together. And when we report it in the conference that coming up in July, then everybody can see how ready Thailand is. And also when we see the whole thing is not just one single number. It is various aspects. So we can really see what are the weak points in AI that we need to fill up, what are the gaps that our country needs to start to fill up in order to make it more useful in Thailand, and also in designing, perhaps Minister want to see what is the area that we want to put the money in most in order to make it most effective for AI in our country. Thank you.
Sorry for this technical glitch. So thank you so much, Professor Sukit, for your remarks. And this is indeed a 360 assessment of AI ethics ecosystem. So we hope that the findings of Thailand will also be discussed during the forum, and we're very, very looking forward for that. Let me turn now to Mr. Soohyun Kim, Regional Director for UNESCO. Let us now take the look from the global side, and what is it that UNESCO hopes or expects from this first Global Forum on Ethics of AI in Asia Pacific, hosted by Thailand?
Thank you very much for that, and good morning to everyone again. My microphone is working fine, actually, so it must not be AI.
Maybe it's the frequency.
Maybe. So that's actually a very important question, but I do want to, again, start by thanking Thailand for co-hosting this very important forum next year. And it's the first one in Asia Pacific, and we have to think about what does that mean. Asia Pacific is home to more than 60% of the world's population, and it is at the forefront of the technological developments and AI innovations. And there is a critical role that we expect in the Asia Pacific region to be able to play a unique role in that. And from now until June next year, we have about 7 months, and a lot can happen. As the Permanent Secretary has said, the AI technology advances extremely fast, and in that 7 months, we have many other global events also happening. Just to mention that there is a global forum, a summit in Paris next year, which will also have an influence on what and how we shape the agenda in June. So just to mention, there's a lot happening, but and our expectations are high. But as we're waiting and preparing for this, I'd like to just speak to maybe 3 aspects. So the first aspect is on universality. Universalizing the different principles, the values, the human rights-based approach, so that we do not leave anyone behind. And what that means is at the regional level, there's a lot that regional architectures like ASEAN, CARICOMs, and African Union around the world can play a role in regionalizing what's at the global. So what do I mean by the global? You will recall that this September in the United Nations General Assembly, the Global Digital Compact was adopted by member states. And unpacking that and localizing it and making that into policy dimensions is something that we'd also look to taking forward. And of course, for UNESCO, the recommendations on the ethics of AI in 2021 is something that would also be a linchpin, and we want to accelerate the implementation of that. And of course, the readiness assessment methodology, both my panelists have spoken to, is another a benchmark or another a tool, the global tool that we'd like to also universalize, which are all based on the human rights-based principles. So the second part I'd like to also mention is accelerating our evidence building through research, through partnering with the academia and so forth. And one of the reports that UNESCO will be launching is the AI market trends, I believe, research, which will be looking at the societal impacts of AI. And this really coincides well with the theme of the Global Forum next year. And the third part I want to mention is really around partnerships. How do we deepen partnerships? We know that AI cannot just be managed or worked by the governments. It's actually a whole of society approach that we need to embark on. So bringing together business partners, but also the youth, the young people, the future generation. How do we bring all of this together so that this forum becomes a turning point to enhance inclusivity, the transparency, and to protect the rights of all?
Thank you very much, Ms. Soohyun Kim, for pointing out the universality of the forum that will be hosted by Thailand next year in June. So with these remarks, I'd like to really thank again the government of Thailand for co-hosting this event. Thank you also the European Union for your support. This is a support that the EU is given to the global program on ethics of AI in particular. So we'd like you to really stay tuned and be with us, 24th to 27th of June next year. It will be the universe hosted by Thailand, the most universal platform on ethics of AI. And in the meantime, I wish you well, and we thank you for all your remarks and insights. Thank you so much.